What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a Pichu Evolution Team. Man, oh man, this was not an easy one. Now, before I get to how hard this team was, and yes, Pichu is MVP, leave your favorite theme teams in the comment section below. Any feedback on the video would be wonderful too. Give that like button a little bit of a Pichu, and let's get right into this one. Now, as you can imagine, I had a lot of losses with this team. It was highly infuriating, but we got there in the end, and I got you guys some good battles and a lot of funny bloopers, so you got to stick around for the whole thing. It's wonderful and very infuriating. So, my first battle was against Blazing Lava on my chat. If you guys want to battle me on my chat, that's in the description. Anyone is able to chat there. Okay, so we have a Mighty Roltz lead here. I've got a physical Alola Raichu there. I wanted to try something a bit different than the special one. Now, Roltz is going to take that like a champ, and I'm going to get put to sleep by Hypnosis. Let me run you through the Alola Raichu set. I've got Electric Terrain there. I've got Wild Charge, I've got Brick Break and Thief, so it doesn't have a huge array of moves for physical. I actually gave this one max attack, and I gave it max health. With the Surge Surfer, that doubles the speed in the electric terrain, so I made it more bulky there, and I could be really, really fast once I got the terrain up. That sort of thing. Okay, so we have Drifblim coming in here. Now, I was half expecting a Shadow Ball here. I actually wake up and get the Wild Charge off. It was kind of hard to like swap out into anything because everything just like died in one shot. Now, Drifblim actually is going to go for the T-Bolt here. It was a Charge Beam. Apparently, it was a Charge Beam, Thunderbolt, Psychic, and Protect set. So it was a bit of a different set there with no stab. And going for Thief here just to finish it off. So Shadow Ball definitely would have taken me out there. I had one other Pokemon I could have swapped into that too if things didn't go too well. Alright, so we have Curlier coming in. It's going to trace my Surge Surfer. So I definitely don't want to go for the Electric Terrain. It'll be like fast as hell. But anyway, it's got the Shadow Sneak there. It's a physical set. I just tanked that one, and I'm going to eat my Egg Wave Berry there and get lots of my health back. That was obviously my item there, so I could get... A lot of the time I could get up Electric Terrain there. Curlier just gets melted there and get my speed up, and then they'll power up Wild Charge at the same time. Okay, so basically every person I versed, it was like nearly every person I versed had an Ariados, right? And man, like every single person had it, and it was a big counter on my team, but I will show you why it was such a counter a bit later on. Okay, so it's going to finish me off there with the Nightshades. That's my Raichu Alola down there, but it's K. I've still got 3 Pokemon left. Alright, so bring in Pikachu here. Now, this was a Surf Fly Pikachu. I gave it max attack and max special attack EVs. I also had agility on it to make up for its having no speed. It had Fly Surf, and I'm trying to remember, it had Thunder as well. Okay, so that's going to get taken down by Fly, and we have the Meowstic coming out here. As I said, this was a mix set. So here I'm going for the Thunder. I'm going to get outsped by the Meowstic, obviously there, because I don't have anything in speed. Going for agility this turn. I was thinking of going for Thunder rather than Bat, but I was like, let's go for a sweep here. Okay, so Thunder is going to land on the Meowstic there. Unfortunately, it's going to get really close to taking it out, but it doesn't, so hashtag salt. But I'm going to get the Paralyze, so that's really cool there. The Energy Ball is going to be enough to take me out. So I've already lost half my team, really. Well, then again, they've lost half their team too, so it's a real close one at the moment. Bringing in MVP himself here, Pichu. So I didn't have any moves hit this with. Any attacking moves on this set. Now, my Raichu actually didn't have any other attacking moves either. The only move I had was Toxic there, right? So if the Swagger didn't kill this Meowstic here, the battle was over because I couldn't take it out my Raichu. I will explain why my Raichu didn't have any attacking moves in a sec. I know you're probably wondering why. However, the Meowstic hits itself in confusion, and that takes it out. So that was a really, really important turn there. Obviously, they wouldn't have realized that till the latter end of the battle. Okay, so Roltz is going to come in here. It's going to trace my static. I can't do too much here, so I thought I need to save Pichu for the end of the battle. I've already seen the team preview and what Pokemon hadn't been brought out yet, so I thought that'd be rather handy. Okay, so of course Roltz has Taunt, and I'm going to be taunted here. Now, on this set, this was a pretty cool Raichu set. I'll get to explain it probably a little bit better the next battle. It's kind of, it kind of didn't actually get to do much in this at all. So since I got taunted there, I'm going to get put to sleep as well. Hypnosis, that's like a, what is that, like wide lens or something? Or they're just getting really lucky. Anyway, so I'm going to snooze. They're going to have Dream Eater there. I don't want to swap in my Pichu. It actually has Focus Sash, and I want to, I want to preserve that Focus Sash. Okay, so my taunt is going to wear off here. Now, I've got, as I said, I've got Toxic on this set too, and I've got 3 other status moves. So I'm going to get hit by the Dream Area again. This is a very bulky Raichu. This is max health, max special defense Raichu. Now, the reason I had to run the Raichu with this kind of set was, like, I had no other Pokemon to swap into. Like, you know, Pichu ain't exactly going to be able to tank any moves. Pikachu isn't, and Alolan Raichu isn't either. So they were very, like, you know, it wasn't a bulky team at all, and this had to be a really, like, gimmick set to, you know, for me to able to swap into moves. Anyway, so I've got the I've got the Toxic up, going for Protect now, just to get that Toxic damage racking up a little bit. Now for recovery, I've got a Wish on this set. Like, I needed some sort of recovery, like a bulky mon on this team. Even so, it got walled so many times, and it was so frustrating at times. But anyways, so the Ralts going to go for the taunt here. I've got the Wish up. That's what I wanted to do. Now it's like, well, I can get a struggle kill here because I got no attacking moves, and that'll take it out. Then I'll get the Wish recovery afterwards there. Struggle does a quarter damage to you every time you use it, so it's you know, it's very, very bad sort of moves there, but that's all good. I got my Wish off, and that's a lot. You know, that was a pretty good result there. So the last Pokemon was the Monferno. I had my Pichu saved up for this one. Now it's going to go for the Fire Punch here, and I lived on 1 health or something like that, and I'm able to get the struggle off and do a little bit of damage to the Monferno in case it had like Sash or something, and my Raichu's going to go down there. So I got the 1 HP live. That was awesome. So the last Pokemon I have is my Pichu. Now this was a Thunder Wave Swagger counter Pichu there. So I've got the Sash there. I was saving this the whole time, and I get the counter off, and that's going to be enough to take out the Monferno there. And that is GG. That was the this was one of the closest battles I had with this team. Okay, let's. The other move was Thunder Wave on Pichu as well. All right, so next battle was against GamerGirl27 on my chat. These were the 2 you know, closest battles that I had there. I mean, there was some absolute wipes happening. Anyway, so we have a Pimpnite lead here. I'm a little bit scared that it could be a special set, so I don't want to risk the counter straight away. I thought I'd save it up for the end. And you know what, of course, it's a physical set there, so it's going to hit my Alolan Raichu there with the Waterfall, doing over half health, which sucks. So I don't really have any time to hit up Electric Terrain at all, so I have to go for Wild Charge right off the bat there. It's going to tank that one, and it's going to be able to finish me off there with a Waterfall. Unfortunately, Wild Charge didn't do quite enough recoil to put me in range of Aquawave Berry and get my health back to tank the Waterfall, but yeah, I was kind of hoping it would, but it didn't. So swapping a Pikachu now. This was a mix set I was talking about before. Going for the Thunder because I didn't have too many options if you think about it. I had Agility, I had Surf, which was going to do Monkeys. I had Fly, which is a 2-turn. Like, you know, the Pimpnite could easily swap out, so I had to go for Thunder. Okay, so we have Marini here. Going for the Thunder here, which hits. I really needed to take this thing out. Once again, the Raichu couldn't deal with it all with Toxic. Pichu wasn't exactly going to do too much unless it was a physical set. And yeah, I basically had to take it out with the Pichu, which was, you know, at least it landed. Okay, so we have the Soul Rock here. I'm going to go for the Surf. I was really excited to use this, see how much it would do. I knew that it probably wouldn't kill, but it did some pretty damn good damage to Soul Rock there anyway. Now, Soul Rock's going to go for a Psychic here, which is going to be way too much for my Pikachu to live. Pikachu doesn't really live much anyway, so that's all good. Okay, so I've got my bulky Raichu set. I get to show this one off really well in this battle. Anyways, so setting the Toxic up on my on the opposing Soul Rock there. Now, I wasn't sure if this had a ground type move or not. It's going to hit me with a Psychic again. Since I'm running a very special set, it really hits me hard then, but that was a crit. When I first saw that, I'm like, damn, son, that must be like Specs or something, but it didn't seem to be that after seeing that it was a crit. Okay, so anyway, getting the Wish up here. That's going to be good. I'm going to be able to get back all my health. It's got the Flamethrower there, so it's definitely not choice. Now, I couldn't really do too much apart from just go for Protect. This is a very stally set. It was just designed to swap stuff in. Now, the main crux of my set here was I was a bulky special defense Wallrite, but I was a little bit weak to defend, you know, bulky physical hits. So I buffed my defense with Z Charm with Ethereum Z. So what Z Charm does is it actually gives you a +1 to defense, and you get the effect of Charm too, which drops their attack by 2 stages, right? So essentially you get a plus, like a +3, but you know, if you think about it that way. So it's a pretty cool set, and I was very happy to run it. It came up with this one. It sort of took me a while to think of that because, you know, I thought I could go for offensive. You know, all the Pichu line, I could go offensive, or I could have a really, really bulky one. but I decided not to. I was low-key hoping that Mienfoo would go for high jump kick and just, use half its health up, but it didn't have Drain Punch instead, so I was like, damn. Anyway, so getting the Toxic up on that anyway. I need a drink. Alright. Rehydrated. Anyway, so I'm going to get hit by a Drain Punch there. Since I got that Z Charm up, which gave me +1 in defense and max health on Raichu, I am taking that a little bit better than I would. So this part here was kind of long. Like something else, Kappa. Anyway, so I'm going to go for the Wish and Toxic combo here. I know that I can outstall this thing unless it's got any like setup moves or rest or anything like that. I was pretty confident that I could do this. So going for a Charm anyway, just dropping the attack on the Mienfoo further. It's going to go for Drain Punch, but essentially it's just not getting enough health back there to be able to take me out. Like I said, I didn't know all the moves on it, if it had something else to take me out, but at the moment I couldn't really see how I was going to lose this matchup. But there was one Pokemon that I was really, really worried about, that I was worried about the whole battle in the team preview, which is going to prop up a little bit later. Anyway, so Mienfoo's going to go for yet another Drain Punch against me. That's going to... I was only really worried about a critical hit that would be kind of bad, but at this point, I couldn't swap in my Pichu right to use counter on the Mienfoo. I wanted it actually to swap out and maybe swap it back in later, and Raichu to try and defeat the other two Pokemon. That was my strategy at this point in the game. Anyway, so the Mienfoo's going to swap out there with the U-turn. Now we have the Morlul. So I was like, I don't think this is going to be a physical attacker either. So Pichu's not going to be, it's not going to be any help at all. So I'm going to have to keep in Raichu here. Anyway, so go for the Toxic on the Morlul. So I got that up. That's good. I was thinking I could Wish Pass maybe to the Pichu, but is Pichu going to get like one-shotted and burn its sash off? I couldn't really risk that. Anyways, so here I have to, I really couldn't swap out. I was forced to swap in here. This was the whole trouble, right? Mainly against this team, it was poison types I had trouble with. I had also steel types. They weren't very good because my wall, I couldn't stall them out my wall Pokemon. And if I lost, especially in this situation, say I lost Pichu, right, and Alola Raichu, I was really buggered because Pichu really didn't do much. Its main gimmick was counter. Once it did that, it was basically gone. Unless I got really incredibly lucky. That was it anyway. Then I was left with Raichu. And if Raichu couldn't use Toxic on the opponent, it was a really, really tough matchup there. It almost came down to PP in some of the battles. Alright, anyway, so I'm going to hit by the Moonblast there, but I'm easily taking Morlul's attack there. It really can't do too much damage to me, and Toxic is slowly taking it out. But that wasn't the Pokemon that I was worried about. It was another Pokemon, and we'll get to that one in a sec. Okay, so I'm just being a scumbag here and using Protect and Wish, hoping I don't get critted 50 times in a row by this thing. I don't think that would even be enough anyway. So the Toxic is going to take out the Morlul in the next turn here. Just going for the last Protect here to take that out with the Toxic. There wasn't I really wanted to swap into Pichu, but I just couldn't risk it. Right, I actually needed that. I needed it for the last Pokemon, but it was really, really risky. I'll explain in a sec. Okay, so Morlul's gonna go down there. So the dreaded last Pokemon comes out, which is the Wormadam Trash, which is a Steel type. RIP. So I'm not gonna be able to do anything to this at all. So I was like, well, I can get the Wish off right. If Pichu somehow lives on more than 1 health, I might be able to, preserve that Focus Sash and try something a little bit later. Okay, so Signal Beam actually does a fair amount of damage to me, so I was kind of a little bit worried there was a Specs set there. Anyway, so swapping in the Pichu here, I'm going to get hit by the Signal Beam, takes me all the way to my Sash. RIP, there goes my Sash. However, Wish is just going to just get all my health back, which is hilarious there. And here we go. So I needed to get a Swagger. I needed to get +6 Swagger on this Wormadam, right, to take itself out. Now, I had Attract on this set too, so it was basically Parafusion and Attract, so the opponent didn't have anything it could really do. However, it gets through the Swagger, and that is my Pichu down there. RIP. So, things were not looking too good here. So, all I could do against Wormadam now was use Wish and Protect and just hope it ran out of Signal Beams. I wasn't sure what other special moves it had. Even if it was Specs, I could easily swap out, go back to Mienfoo. And PP stole me there and basically take me out. But I was happy to say GG. I lost this one, but we went for a couple more turns here. So it's going to snap out of confusion. Going to continue to go for the signal beam there. Now, this was the thing. I knew that I could always beat Mianfu unless it had something else hidden up its sleeve, which I hadn't seen. It was just Wormadam. I knew that I couldn't get past. That was the problem. With the Pichu, I wanted to get 3 swaggers up on it so it could hit itself for confusion. That was like my only way to take it out, and that was like risky as it was. Anyway, so I'm going to die here to the last signal beam, and that is game. I hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. They were really fun. Enjoy these bloopers. They're not salty at all.
A few moments later.